Week 4 review of the Fantasy Baseball League. Seem kind of down. Are you all right?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. You think you'd be more happy with your big win last week?
Yeah.
No.
I don't want my 4-inch, you know what, to get any bigger.
Ooh, wow, interesting. Anyway, so we are going to get into the matchups right away.
I can't wait to hear the first matchup.
You can't wait to hear the first matchup. Ben's Champions with an 11-6 win over Bear Bashers.
Did you create a theme song for this week, too?
Hmm.
No theme music?
No.
You're not going to have a recording?
Mm-mm.
No?
What, were you waiting on that for? Because I mean, you didn't say anything last week. I didn't have one last week. It was 2 weeks ago. But anyway, yeah, it's kind of the same story for Bear Bashers. Can't hit. That's what it boils down to. I think it's like the 4th week in a row now that the batting average is under 250, and that's not going to cut it. It was the worst pitching week of the season that Bear Bashers has had. It wasn't necessarily terrible, but it wasn't good, and that cost a couple of categories on that. Do you have anything to say, or are you doing something else over there?
I'm just listening for you and your excuses.
There's no excuses. I laid it out like it was.
Like it was.
And that's how it was. Yep. I think the way this went down, I'm sure your Roto stats would back up that an 11-6 win was probably about correct. Did you say that or no?
Total Roto points, number 5 played number 7. And he actually out-rotoed you by 20. So, yeah, 11-6 sounds about right. That's probably a little bit closer than I would have thought it would have been Roto-wise. You did have the 5th best pitching, but you know that your offense was atrocious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, my. Number 9, by the way, for the week. Your offense, number 9.
Yeah.
I don't, which confuses me because you are the lineup guru.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you play the matchups. You play guys that are supposed to hit against guys who throw with a certain arm. How can you be this bad?
Hey, I can't regroup from the injuries I've had. I'm trying to just stay above water. That's all I can do.
Interesting.
I mean, I made free agent moves. I have. I mean, you see, I'm doing things, doing the best I can. Just treading water.
Treading water.
Treading water.
Sounds like a team in the bottom 4, not the power 6.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Treading water.
I would agree with that right now. It's no problem. All right.
Next matchup, please.
Next matchup. Team V with the 12-3 convincing win over Team Joe Boo.
Joe Boo was actually... Go ahead. Gotta let you do your thing first.
Joe Boo was actually...
Unlucky.
Unlucky. Because there's a lot of close categories. That's what you're going to say? Because that's what I'm looking at right now.
There were a lot of... Well, yeah, he was the number 4 Roto team. So when you play... I mean, even though he did play the number 1 Roto team for the week, you're number 4, your score shouldn't be 12-3.
See, this is another one I'm going to hate. Because that pitching stat does not say number 4 Roto. 144 total bases. Come on. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. That's not pitching. What's his pitching, Roto?
6.
That's 6?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. 144 total bases is 6 Roto?
Oh, no. His total Roto was 6.
Okay, what was the pitching?
He was the worst. That was the worst
Okay,
in the
thank
league.
you. And that's
But again-
that's why you win 12-3. It has nothing to do with the Roto stats that you pull out here. Okay? If you have the worst of something, there's a good chance you're going to get killed. And that's what happened. Come on.
Okay, so he had the worst total bases. Did he win wins?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Big deal. It's easy to win wins against you. You only have 6 pitchers. I'm sure he's thrown a lot more guys than you. Let's see. Oh, 59 innings to 87 innings. Huh. I'm pretty sure that the guy who has 87 innings is going to win wins. That does not surprise me at all. What? It's your turn.
Okay. You are what you are.
Mm-hmm.
That was his worst category, by the way, that you pointed out. He was tied for first in wins, He was middle of the pack in quality starts. He was second in the league in strikeouts. He was second in the league in saves. He was middle of the pack in holds. He was middle of the pack in ERA, and he was towards the bottom in WHIP. That gave him a number 6 pitching staff.
Well, first of all, you just said he had the worst pitching staff.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, yes, you did. My God,
I did
wish
not.
I could rewind it.
Rewind it.
You said that he had the 6 overall roto stats.
He had the worst total bases, which is the first category you asked.
Not what you said.
Yes, it
Not what you
is.
said.
You asked me about total bases. I said he was the worst. I said you picked his worst category.
That's not how you said that.
Well,
Go
when
ahead.
you-
You'll
when you watch it
When
again.
You watch it,
when you
you'll
watch
see.
it again.
It's not how you said it.
I'm sorry that you can't
this
handle.
is-
I'm sorry you can't handle the roto stats are correct for 4 weeks in a row. I'm sorry you can't handle that.
Oh,
That's
really?
okay. Go ahead.
Oh, really? So when you're telling me when you pitch the most guys, do you think you're going to win wins? Do you think you're going to win strikeouts? Do you think you're going to win quality starts? Because you are. That doesn't mean anything.
Does that guarantee it?
Just
Does it
about.
no, yes or no? Does it guarantee
Well, of course,
it?
that doesn't guarantee anything.
Thank you.
But when you have the most, does anybody else have 87 innings this week? Do you keep track of innings? You probably don't because that's not a category that matters to you. But that's what happens. If you throw a lot of guys, you're going to win those kind of categories.
So then I'll bring up a conversation that you and I
Stupid.
had that you don't want to put on the video, which was All Rise threw the most innings last week at 96 innings, won and was the number 1 pitching staff in the league. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there goes your theory.
No! The why? Oh my God. The reason why he's the number 1 is because he's winning the cumulative stats. If you throw more guys, you're going to get more quality starts, you're going to get more wins, you're going to get more strikeouts. Of course that's number 1 in your roto.
Number 1 in ERA, number 2 in WHIP.
Okay, fine. That happened for him one time. Did it happen this week?
One time!
No. Did it happen this week?
Did he throw 96 innings this week?
Probably close because he's not dropping pitchers.
I don't know what he threw. I didn't keep track of the cumulative innings.
Goodness gracious. Your roto stats are so stupid. Let's talk about what actually matters.
By the way, I was the number 1 roto team for the week.
Well, yeah, you hit 307 and had a 383 OPB. That'll get you a number 1 roto. I mean,
It's also false data because I was tops in average and on base last week and I lost almost every offensive category. So how's
but
that for your data?
You were number 3 total last week in roto. So I'm not saying you still have a good roto week, but just because you lose a couple of categories, I mean, these things happen. But you still had a good roto week last week.
First of all, I've had a good roto week every week. I've been in the top 4.
I know you're just amazing. I don't even know why we even bother playing. I mean, we all should just quit right now because why are we wasting our time?
By the way, viewers, do you notice a different tone when he's not winning? Not winning.
No, it has nothing to do with me winning.
No,
I'm
it
okay
does.
with
It does.
I'm alright with it.
Because in the text thread, when this guy's winning, but when he's losing, it's, oh, you guys suck. You guys are this. You
No,
guys
the
are
text
that."
thread that I got so upset about, and it even came to fruition. Exactly what I said was going to happen. Because I was asking a simple question because I was going to be busy Sunday during the day. And I wanted to know if my opponent was going to pitch all of his guys, because if he was going to, I was going to pitch my one guy. That's all I was asking.
Why does he owe you that courtesy?
Why does he owe me that courtesy?
Yeah. No, not him. Why does anyone in the league owe you the courtesy of telling you what they're going to do against you?
Technically, they do not. But
There's no, hold on. Get rid of the word technically. Do they owe you that answer, yes or no?
they don't owe me anything.
Correct. Correct.
But I thought we were all friends here and we could just have a common conversation. For you guys to use the word collusion is a freaking joke. You don't remember, but when I lived at my old house 5 years ago, you did the same thing to me, the same exact thing. But you're such a hypocrite, you don't even remember doing it.
No,
you don't even remember.
I asked you what you
Because we
going
were
to
sitting
do.
there playing chicken all day because you do your lineup. I'm like, all right, he's pitching him, so I'm going to bench him. So then I go back on again, then he's pitching him again. So I'm like, all right, well, he's pitching him again, so I'm going to bench him. So then you call me, and then you're like, okay, what are you doing? And then I told you. So
That's
then
your
we
fault.
talked it out. No, we talked it out, and we did it that way. It's not like you called me and then did something different. Although I could see you doing that, Mr. Integrity. Integrity only matters when it applies to you. If you feel like someone has done you wrong, then they don't have integrity. But when you do it, then it's okay because you're a hypocrite. That's just how you've always been. You don't practice what you preach. I'm sorry, it's the truth.
Interesting.
Team Jojo's gonna love this video, by the way. He's gonna freaking love it.
So I asked you a question. By the way, there's no proof that this actual conversation took place. But anyways,
You don't remember it? You don't remember this entire thing happening?
No.
Okay, well,
do you know what season it was?
If
Do
I
you
had
know what? Do you know what the pitchers were involved?
Oh,
do
come
you
on.
know what day of the week it was?
Yeah, it was Sunday.
Okay, so yeah,
That I know.
so he knows it was a Sunday, and that's all he knows.
Yeah, it was a Sunday at my old house. So it was probably like 2011. So there you go. Yeah, of course you're not gonna remember it, but that's that. Yeah, I made up the whole thing. That's
So anyways, but my point is that if I call you and ask you what you're going to do, and you tell me that, that's dumb on you. There's a difference, and here's what he's not telling you. I didn't call you and say, hey, I'm going to be busy Sunday. Can you just tell me what you're going to do so I don't have to frickin' do anything? There's a difference between that. If I call you and ask you for information
freaking doing
straight up.
anything. It was
Yeah.
so complicated. I mean, it was like it was a big freaking deal.
That is collusion.
And anyway, and then
It's collusion.
No, let me.
When two managers get together to make a decision on an outcome of something, that's called collusion.
And not everybody was on the text thread, so let me continue this because it wasn't just him. There was other people in there that was like, well, why would Ben's champions ever bench anybody? Well, isn't it interesting that that's what he did? He only pitched one of those 5 guys.
And he should have pitched 2.
Right, but that's
again,
that's still
right, and that's something else I want to get into too. At any point, and you want to talk about integrity, anyone in that text thread could have said, Ben, you should do this. Ben's champions even posted the question before the 8 o'clock game.
Yeah, he
what
did.
should I do? Did anybody respond?
No, because nobody knew the answer. Because it wasn't an easy cut and dry. He only had 2 8 o'clock pitchers. He had two chances at that point.
Well, you can again. This is in your world. I didn't answer because it's not right for me to answer in case he does go on one of my what I would say in there because that is benefiting him or affecting your matchup. And I'm sure Globo Jim would say the same thing. He didn't give his answer because he didn't want that to be a reason for why he did not make a decision.
I don't know about that.
Of course not. You don't know.
Because how do you know people just weren't busy at that particular time? Because when you send a text at 7:45 and that decision has to be made in 15 minutes, if nobody's looking at their phone at that particular moment, then they're not going to respond. But anyway, I was berated on the text thread.
The exact text was, yes, Ben, I'll have baseball, which is why I'm asking you if you'll pitch everyone.
Yeah.
Our pitching categories are what they are. But if you're going to be cool, if you're going to talk along with me and do collusion here.
Oh, that's what I said.
If you're going to be cool and bench everyone, I'll bench mine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Who
all.
says that in a matchup?
Because if you're going to bench everybody, I'm not going to pitch my guy. It wouldn't have changed anything because it was done. I don't understand. I'll never get it. I'll never get it. And like I said, that's
You
what
asked
happened
someone
anyway because
you
I was right.
asked
I was
someone
no.
to not throw starting pitchers.
I could care less what he did.
Then why'd you ask him? Then why were you asking him?
Because I wanted to do whatever he did. That's all. That's all I wanted to do. If he was going to pitch him, I'd pitch my guy. If he bench him, I was going to bench my guy.
Then you should have found the time to check it.
I look, it's just like you. Sometimes you're really busy,
Correct.
working. I was really busy playing. So
Right.
it wasn't easy for me to get to my phone at the exact moment in order to look
you know
at
what?
it.
That is a great example. That's a great example. And after this video, watching it, I want everybody that have played this week to please put in a text message back to me. How many times on a Sunday I've texted you and said, hey, I'm working today, not going to have great cell phone service. Could you please let me know if you're going to be playing this guy or not playing this guy so I can
my
make
God.
my lineup according to you?
Oh my God! The only
Just
issues that
respond
you've
to
had
that.
on Sundays because that was one of your excuses on why you were doing bad before last
No, it's
week.
a fact. There's a
No,
difference.
it's because you had no cell phone service in Hanover or whatever, and that's fine.
Correct. In a cooler, I don't get cell phone service. Correct.
Oh yeah, but you can't go to the bathroom and check your phone. You never get bathroom breaks. They lock you in that cooler for 8 hours. Is that what they do? Yeah, it's what
I
thought.
can't control what's going on at work.
Yeah, you don't get.
See, I know you don't know
get
this
breaks.
because you're in a car all day, but when I'm actually working, I don't control the things that are happening every single hour. I don't get the same lunch break every single day.
No,
Do you
but
know
you get-
why? Because there are different things going on at work that control what's going on.
Yeah, but you still get one.
Correct.
Right.
I can't control when I take it. If that's what you're saying, you need to wake up. That's not how this business works.
Okay.
I've had several times where I thought I was walking out the door to go to lunch and got called back.
All right. Okay. I just would imagine that you never get a restroom break ever. Never. That never happens.
Are the games set up around my restroom breaks?
Well, if you were smart enough, you would make sure that they were. If you care so much. Yeah.
Oh.
Right. But no, it's only
Fantasy
when you
baseball.
care. It's only when you
Fantasy
care.
baseball.
Don't fantasy baseball me. Don't act like you don't care. My
Fantasy
God,
baseball.
I don't even know if we're gonna get through this video because you just have to be in it. Oh,
Fantasy baseball.
my gosh. Do you have anything else to say about this matchup? Can we move on to the next matchup? I don't have to talk about you anymore.
You're always going to talk about me.
What? I'm serious. Do you have anything else to say about it?
No, I said
All
it.
right,
I said
fine.
it from my roto stats. That Team Joe Boo was unlucky. He had good roto stats and a lot of close categories.
All right, fine. Moving on. Globo Gym, 10-7 win over Alaska Glaciers in the brother rivalry.
What was it? 10-7.
10-7 Globo won.
Yeah.
A lot of close categories. A lot of close categories. I'm looking through here.
Yeah. Alaska Glaciers did put up a 90.5 roto rating, which is still very good. I mean, it was only 6th for the week, but scoring a 90 is good for roto stats wise. If I had to guess, without actually looking at the stats, I would say that he lost a lot of offensive categories since he was the number 8 offense for the week.
Well, that's not true. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He won 5 offensive categories.
So he split it.
Well, I mean, considering the score was 10-7, basically he lost most of the pitching categories.
It's interesting.
Well, sometimes the roto stats lie. What can you say?
No, I didn't actually look at all the data. Yes, I was just going to say that's interesting because he had the number 2 pitching staff. Roto stats wise.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. If you say so.
I know so. I have the data. in
Well,
front of me.
no, because you count. I guess you count holds as much as anything else, you know, and that's the thing. Like, yeah, he had the most holds in the league, and apparently that jolts you up, you know, sky high. But that's only one category. Whereas as like ERA and WHIP, that pretty much lays into everything that's happening in a pitching category. There should be almost more weight towards those categories than holds or saves, because it's one category.
He had the second best whip.
So nobody had better than a 114? Okay.
Third.
I was going to say, make
Third.
sure you watch yourself.
Third.
I can look at the number. I can look at the number and know
Oh, I'm
that's not
sorry.
second best.
So second and third. He went from second to third in whip.
Mm-hmm.
What's your point then?
Well, he still had a 393 ERA. Where does that rank?
He got
That'd be middle
6
of the pack.
points. That would be 5th. Yes.
Middle of the pack. See,
He
I
was
can look at the number and tell you where it is.
Okay. How about strikeouts?
That's probably middle of the pack as well.
Wrong. Number 1.
Nobody had more than 77 strikeouts.
It was a very low strikeout week. It was all in the 70s.
Nobody had more than 77 strikeouts.
No.
That's ridiculous.
Everybody was in the 70s. I only had 71. Team Joe Boo had 74 in that one.
All right.
He was second in total bases. 4th in losses. I mean, that's top 4 in 4 categories already. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 categories where he's 1, 2, or 3 in.
Okay.
That's the number 2 pitching staff.
All right.
Simple roto.
So anyway, yeah, I know it's simple roto. So what about Globo? Because
Globo was number 1 in pitching. Number 7 in offense.
Yeah, I can see that.
He can see it.
Don't,
He can see it.
But again, number 7 in offense. 1, 2, 3, 4. He still won 4 categories with number 7 in offense.
When you play the number 8 offense, yes, there should be a lot of close categories. And it probably is split. When the 7 and the 8 teams play each other offensively, it's probably a lot of close categories and split.
All right, moving on. All Rise, 11-6 over 66-44.
Don't know why that's so hard to understand.
I don't know why you're still talking. All Rise, 11-6 win over 66-44.
I'm actually surprised that the score wasn't worse. He had the number 3 roto score against the number 8 roto score, and it was a huge gap in the points. So I'm a little that score actually surprised me. I would have thought that score would have been like a 13-3 or a 12-3 or something like that, based on the roto.
Well, basically, 66-44 had a horrific pitching week. Right?
Yes, the worst.
Yes,
The
easily.
worst in the league.
657 ERA, 148 whip. Can't get worse than that. Okay.
Correct. Those were the worst in the leagues.
Yes. Now the offensive categories were all very, very close the whole way down.
Yes.
Stolen bases, everything else. Was
Number
close.
2 and number 3 in the league. Roto stats wise.
They were 2 and 3 best.
Yes.
I feel like the whole league has been 2 or 3 best in offensive category. I mean,
No, I just said
Mhm.
the ones you just talked about. Globo and Alaska Glaciers were 7 and 8. I was 1 against 5. You were number 9 against who'd you play? Bench champions.
I would
Against
I would-
number 4. and that leaves 2, 3, 6, and 10. So this is 2 and 3 offensively.
Okay. I don't know. These numbers don't seem 2 and 3.
It was this was a down week offensively. I'm going to tell you that right now, league wise.
Okay.
As far as if you're looking at all Rise's stats, you're looking at the number 1 or number 2 guy in runs, doubles, RBIs, batting average, and on base percentage. He's either middle of the pack or he is a classic Yankees team because he's low on singles and stolen bases.
Yeah, we will get into all rise.
I'm sure you will.
Why? You don't want to say anything about it?
I said I'm sure you will.
Oh.
That's all I said.
All right.
But yes, I'm actually surprised. Well, not now. Now that I look at the actual offensive stats, that kind of makes it more rounded then, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I said, it's. I think it all revolves around the pitching because the offensive categories are very, very close, but the pitching is what. I mean, he didn't get a win all week. That's pretty hard to do. Not get one win all week long.
And all Rise number 4 pitching for the week.
Yeah. So that 11-6 score seems about right. And then
last matchup,
5 Swords with the rare win, 8-7 over Zips. There was a lot of complaining from Zips that 5 Swords had a extraordinarily good week for him.
This is
Would
actually
you agree with that?
Roto stats wise, this is an upset because number 9 is Zips and number 10 is 5 Swords Roto wise.
Okay, well that must revolve around the pitching and it does. I'm looking at it now because 5 Swords had a much worse pitching staff.
See, now I would have said it would have been the
man. But see, there again, though, I think that's why there's certain things that should be weighted more. I think when you say this is an upset roto-wise, 5 Swords hit 282 and Zips hit 249. So all those other counting stats are going to hurt for Zips because if you have that big of a gap, when you have
Zips was the worst offense in the league, number 10.
Right. When you have that big of a gap, you can't get those counting stats. You're going to lose singles. You're going to lose runs.
But
because
5 Swords was only the 6th best offense, so he wasn't that much better.
Right.
But when you're playing the number 10, then yes, you're going to win more offensive categories.
So then, if you're telling me though that he was the worst offensive, if he had the worst offensive week,
yes,
then
he should have won doubles though. If I look at this, he should have won doubles
with
Zips.
Yeah, he did. He had 20 doubles.
Right. That was tied for first.
Yeah. That's the only offensive category he won.
I was going to say, looking at the Roto stats, because he didn't score higher than a 1 or a 2 in any category except for stolen bases.
Yeah. So, and he tied in stolen bases, which was 6 is if you get 6 stolen bases, that's a tie. I mean, it's not bad. So
I'd expect him to not win every offensive. Now, if I look now, it's because I put them head to head here. So he should have won wins. They tied losses.
Mm-hmm.
He should have won quality starts.
Mm-hmm.
Now, interestingly enough, though, I see that 5 Swords won total bases. No, Zips won total bases, correct?
Yeah.
Zips won total bases. So I have here that...
My gosh. Man, these total base numbers are just out of this world. I don't know. Man. So many total bases from some of these guys.
So the only pitching categories that 5 Swords won were quality starts and holds?
Yeah, that's it.
So they flipped.
Yeah, basically, one guy won most of the offense and one guy won most of the pitching.
Right.
And that's why it's a 50-50. So I wouldn't consider Zips to have an unlucky week, would you? That's what I'm saying. If you have the worst offense, you don't have an unlucky week. That is what it is. Yeah. So actually, if you have the worst offense and you only lose 8-7, you should consider yourself lucky. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I'd go along with that.
Yeah. Okay. So you said there was one record this week?
Yes, there was one record.
Okay.
Just one.
He's going to look it up. I got to take a break and cool off a little bit. Okay. So we have one record, but unfortunately, this is a negative record. This is the kind of record that you don't want.
We have a new standard set for worst ERA in a single week, and this goes to 8, 6, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 with a 6.57 ERA. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, that is pretty bad. So it's going to be hard to break that one, isn't it?
Yes. That's not something I'm going to try to break.
Yeah. And apparently there were a few trades that we had missed last week. What are they?
Two trades.
Two of the catcher trades, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you pulling them up right now?
Am I supposed to be pulling them up right now?
That's what I thought you were doing.
Okay. James, since they both involve us. Actually, there were 3 trades. Or is the Paxton Posey trade in the?
No, because it was catchers. So the Paxton Posey trade would be.
Oh
one
yes.
we talked
I
about.
was counting. We did the Molina Middleton one already. Okay.
Yeah.
So since they both involve us, why don't you talk about your trade?
Yes, the
Posey, Paxton, and round 2.
Posey Paxton in a round 2. Yeah, I'm losing my voice from the yelling I've been doing.
Who got the round 2 pick?
The round 2 pick went to Globo Jim.
Wow.
But I got Buster Posey. I feel like catchers are really hard to come by that at least can hit for average, which is something I desperately need. Now, of course, he's still not hitting for average yet, but it's early, and there's a lot of people that aren't hitting yet, so we'll just have to wait and see.
And you thought this was a good move for you, despite the fact that you love the James Paxton?
Hey, I still love James Paxton. I would say that the drawback with him is that he always gets hurt. If he can actually pitch all year long, I mean, I think he could be a top 20 pitcher. He has not put up those numbers yet this year. I will say that.
Okay.
The strikeouts are still there, though. He's still striking out, 9 and 10 each start, but he's not. The actual WHIP is much higher than usual. Okay. But still, I think he'll get straightened out, and definitely Globo could win the trade if Paxton goes off, and it could happen. So
Okay.
we'll see.
The second round pick, was that his idea or your idea?
No, I threw it in there. Well, he kind of was like, because of the other trade, there was a first round pick in that other trade,
Okay.
and it was a tongue in cheek. I'm kind of serious, not serious. He was like, well, the going rate for catchers is a first round pick, ha ha ha. And I'm like, well, I'll give you a second round, and I knew that would take it
Going rate for catchers is a first round pick.
because there's a first round pick in the other deal.
I gave a first round pick. I didn't get it.
Well, whatever. I didn't really care.
You got hosed.
I didn't get hosed. I like.
And you're happy with this trade?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I mean, it had to be done. Like something had to
had to
happen.
be done.
I had to try to improve my offense too. Like,
Okay.
So, what's the other one?
The other trade was
Even though he never gave his opinion on the trade. Just notice that. Didn't say one word about it.
I like that you got offense. I'm glad you got rid of. Was never big on Paxton for the reason that I told you that it took you 3 years to come to fruition with, but that's fine because I don't want to rub it in. So
He was good while he was healthy, so I don't know why that's a problem.
great. But what does that do for you if he's not pitching in the playoffs for you? Nothing. Exactly.
Put him in the DL. Get another pitcher.
I feel like if you were going to trade a guy like Paxton, that catcher shouldn't have been the position you went after. That's all. I think it was a fine trade for you, but I just feel like if you really wanted to move Paxton, you could have got more for him, and I wouldn't have used it on a catcher.
All right.
That's just my opinion.
No, that's fine. All right. And then what was the other one?
The other one was JT Realmuto and my first round pick going to 66-44 for Odubel Herrera.
Yes, and I really didn't like this because
No, he hates it.
I hated it because I value catchers more than the rest of the free world for some reason.
You do?
But see, the way I look at it is like when you have Real Muto, okay,
Yes.
and you're playing somebody else who has, I don't know, Brian McCann or
Okay.
an average catcher. You have a distinct advantage in that matchup because you have a catcher who is a lot better that you have to run out there every day than that guy. So, I mean, I know it's only one slot, but you're winning that slot. You have a better percentage of winning if you have a better catcher than the other guy, right? Because at least that's one slot that you have a better
I think you should
offensive categories.
I don't
you know?
completely disagree with everything you just said. I would phrase it slightly different. You don't win the position battle. You're going to gain more counting stats.
But is it
from
right?
that.
That's what I'm saying.
But And I will argue that, however, with my data that I've used, and the reason that I made the trade is I didn't think there was that much of a difference in the counting stats for the player that I got back.
And that might be true. However, I would say, who would make your lineup every day? Real Muto. Who's going to make your lineup every day? Herrera, no. Herrera's not going to be in your lineup every single day that he plays.
He's my third outfielder.
So you're really going to play him every day against lefties, no matter what. You're playing him every day.
He doesn't play against lefties.
Well, there you go. He can't. He's not even in the lineup for half the games. But
for half the games.
Not half the games, but
wait, that's what you just said.
I'm sorry. I was incorrect. Oh my god.
You make it sound like he's only going to get 400 at bats. He's going to get.
You're right. He would only get 400 at bats if he doesn't play against lefties. Wow. How is that wrong? God, because the rest of that would only be 125, 150 at bats there. How many at bats do you think guys get 600 at bats in a season nowadays? No. Yeah. Oh, do they? Yeah. Really? Is that really what you think? There's like 10 guys who get that because we'll go 600 plate appearances because you go, at bats
plate
plus
appearances.
walks.
Sorry, let's go plate appearances.
Right.
That's what I was.
But still. What did you look at? See, whatever you just looked at, he was like, "Oh, wait a minute, this doesn't work for my argument, so I'm not even going to say it out loud."
No, I'm just trying to help you save face.
Oh, it's collusion. Save face.
It's collusion.
God, this is so frustrating.
495 at bats.
Yep.
That's 500.
Okay.
583 at bats.
Okay, so we're going by last year's now. Is what you're doing?
No, I'm just giving you his career.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
526 at bats.
Yeah, because right now, you don't see the difference between this year's Phillies and previous year's Phillies. Why are we even comparing the two? You've got all these other moving parts going on out there. You think that those at bats are going to be there? Back then, they had nobody out there. I mean, if you go 2 years ago, they didn't have Nick Williams in the majors. So I mean, if you think that he's going to get all those at bats, it's not going to happen. Not to mention, and it's already been talked about with everybody. He's a huge diva that people don't like. That doesn't help either. So, yeah, I did not like the trade.
Okay.
I don't think Herrera's a bad player. I just didn't like the trade. I thought you gave up too much because I think you're not valuing Real Muto enough.
Okay.
All right. So that's the end of the trades?
Unless you want to talk about the one that just happened.
That should be next week. We need to remember that for next week.
So we'll remember.
All right.
Other than that,
we do have the hot topic this week. We're gonna go into All Rise. It was a popular segment that was last week. At least there's one guy who said he liked it. So
that makes it popular.
Hey,
one guy.
If 50% of our audience likes it, we got to do it again, right?
Sure.
So yeah. So we're going to have our hot topic about All Rise. Is All Rise's success sustainable? Hot topic. Okay, so now I don't know if All Rise ever watches these. Has he ever said anything to you about ever watching these?
He does
sometimes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are going.
He is a fan of one of us.
Okay. Let's start out with Gary Sanchez. Okay. He's always going to get the at-bats. That's key as a catcher because I think even if his catching is lax, he'll always get DH at-bats. Do you know what I'm saying? I think there's not a lot of other catchers that will get as many at-bats as him is what I'm saying. Do you get it?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. So right now he's only hitting 218. I think that'll tick up a little bit. Not a lot. I still think he's under a 250 hitter. Would you agree with that?
I believe he is a 250 hitter, if not slightly above.
Okay, all right. I think he's just too all or nothing for that. He's got 7 home runs right now, so he would be basically on pace for 30, and that sounds about right, doesn't it?
30 to 35 is what I'd expect.
Yeah. So I would say yes, Gary Sanchez is sustainable. Jay Bruce, really off to a slow start. Do you agree with that? You're a Mets guy, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Okay. 247, 2 homers, 11 RBIs.
I think the power numbers will come up, but I don't... He's not a 260, 270 hitter, so I don't...
So you think he's a 250 hitter, so you think that it's not going to be So you're not.
It all depends on the lineup. I mean, Cespedes got hurt again, so
Mm-hmm.
we'll see what happens. He did have a good year when he was traded over to the Mets, so he could just be one of those guys that's older and wants the weather to get warmer.
I actually do like Scooter Gennett. That is his second baseman. I think that
Yeah.
the weather has had a huge factor in the Reds' early season offensive woes. You're actually starting to see, as the weather warms up, everybody in that lineup is starting to hit better. Are you noticing that as well?
Well, the fact that they don't bat Billy Hamilton leadoff anymore helps too, but sure.
Okay. Right now he's only at 275, 2-14, and I think Scooter Gennett's going to finish with 20 home runs. I really do believe that. So, because I think it's going to get warmer and the ball flies out of there. So, I like that. Now let's go on to the next guy. This guy, I think, I didn't know it, but I think I'm starting to see it. I think Cozart is not. I think his last year was a blip in the radar. I think he had his career year last year. Would you agree with that? I mean,
It depends.
and he's already been replaced in the starting lineup with. Well, not replaced in the lineup, but I mean, spot wise, he's not leading off anymore. It's Kinsler.
Correct.
So that hurts
but I
a
don't,
lot.
right. I don't know if Kinsler's really the answer.
It's true. That's true.
I'm not sure lineup wise that the Angels have really found their lineup. I'll be honest with you. I think the guy that should be leading off is Trout.
Then who would you bat second?
That's the problem.
I was going to say, if we're going to bat Trout first, then you got to have someone behind him. I mean,
But do they really have someone behind him now? Are you really still that afraid of Albert Pujols chasing 3,000 hits?
no.
I think Ohtani should be the guy hitting behind him.
I don't disagree with that, but we still both know that that's only
Correct.
40% of the time or something.
They need another bat in that line. I would still keep Upton third, but
I don't even love Upton third.
I would do Trout, Ohtani, Upton, Pujols, and then I would put my Kinslers, Cozarts, Valbuenas, Maldonados, guys, Calhouns to fill out the rest of the bottom of the lineup. The only reason I'm saying move Trout up to one is, yes, he's going to strike out, but he still walks.
Yeah.
And he's going to be on base, and he's going to that's what the Angels need, is guys on base, because when guys are on base, the rest of the lineup gets pitched to differently. And all these guys are free swingers.
Yeah. After actually hearing this out, I bet you if the Angels maintain their success, they're going to go shopping, and they'll get another bat in there. I can totally see that.
It's got to be a leadoff guy, though.
Well, they might end up getting a new first baseman, wouldn't you think?
And just not play Pujols at all?
No, well, Pujols is DHing sometimes.
So you're not going to have that's not going to go well with Ohtani.
Oh, that's true. But I mean,
Ohtani has not-
Valbuena's in the lineup a lot, though. I mean, he's just playing all third base.
Yeah. Ohtani has not shown signs that he shouldn't be DHing right now. No offense.
No, he hasn't. All right. So moving on, Judge.
Does he have any other options at shortstop?
Other options at short. Swanson. Swanson's hitting 280.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe this is what he finally is.
I told him last year I thought that was a good move picking up Swanson. I'm trying to think who had him and then dropped him. Five Swords?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see why Five Swords.
Yeah, no.
That's not a knock on Five Swords.
No.
He was really, really bad.
He was really bad. I
So-
agree. Well, and plus he'd picked up Simmons.
Yeah,
Andrelton
yeah.
Simmons, who
Yeah,
I
Simmons is
agreed
good.
was.
Yeah. Uh-oh, do we get a cameo from Sims? Do we get that? Is that what's happening?
It could be.
Could be.
But you missed Moustakas.
Did I? Yes. Moustakas has been amazing. 297, 8 and 18.
What's up?
What?
Okay. Making it a rare appearance for one of the videos. This is Zips.
Boys just wanted to get a good look at a real working man. I haven't seen one for a long time, and I got a message for the numbers boy. You're going down this week.
Ooh, the numbers boy. That is 6644, right?
2275.
Whatever the hell that is.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, garbage. Where are you going to put all that stuff?
I'll sweep it up and put it in the bag.
All
We're
right.
good.
I raked that thing out. You're going to take the grass out the whole way?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Make that a garden on that side. There's too many roots and stuff. Grass will never grow.
On where? Oh, you mean where the big mound is?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll
Just
talk
take
about
it out to the straight and then make a garden just like you have on the opposite side. See ya.
Yep. We're
Yes.
planning stuff here at the Meckley household.
297, 8 homers, 18 RBIs for Moustakas. That is a very, very solid. And the thing is that I feel like Kansas City's so bad that he's going to keep getting pitched to. Because, I mean, it's weird because, like, sometimes you would say, well, why would you ever pitch to him?
Well, it'll be interesting too to see.
But I
if
think they're
gonna
so
move it.
uncompetitive that they don't care. They're losing 8-1, so they're like, just hit the ball. I'm not going to walk you. I don't know. I don't think it's going away. I think Moustakas going to have a big year, so I'm okay with him. Moving on, Aaron Judge, 207. No, sorry, read the wrong one. 323, 7 homers, 18 RBIs. But
He's on the high rise right now.
Right, but the on base percentage is 458. That is nuts. Like nobody wants to pitch to him, man. Crazy.
When he's hot, yes. When he starts getting in that strikeout swoon again, then why do you want to pitch to him when you can pitch to Stanton?
Where's Didi batting in that lineup?
I thought he was still fourth.
Okay, so but if Judge is batting second, right?
Judge and Stanton, then Didi, then Sanchez.
See, that's the thing. He's got Stanton as the. It's gonna be like that's why he's getting so many walks. Like they're just telling him like.
That's what I just said.
I know, but I mean like
Why do you want to pitch to Judge when you can pitch to?
Stanton is what you're saying. But I mean I don't feel like Stanton's. I mean Stanton's gonna get better. You would imagine.
Is he?
What you think he's gonna do this all year?
Let me ask you this: if he does this all year, would it surprise you?
It would surprise me a little bit, yeah.
No, wouldn't surprise me.
Clicking on a lot of things over there. But anyway, I
I'm
think
just confirming the lineup.
I don't think Judge
No,
is
they
gonna.
did. They did make the change. I wanted to be accurate.
Okay, so Gregorius is batting third.
They split them. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Yes, I think Aaron Judge is not going to hit 323, but I could see him hitting 290, 295 by the end of the year because I think he's trained himself to realize that they're not going to pitch to him. That's what it boils down to. If he keeps taking the walks, he'll get them. You know.
True.
I think Brett Gardner's done. What do you think about Brett Gardner? 207.
Again,
Just
I
at
think
that
it's
age.
I think it's early. I think it's going to be harder for him because I don't think he's playing every day.
Well, there's a lot of miles on those wheels. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I mean, even though he's only like 34, I feel like he's like 44. He's been around forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I do really like Jesse Winker. He doesn't have the power numbers, but he takes a lot of walks and he gets a lot of hits. So, and he does need to be the leadoff guy for the Reds, most definitely at this point. And that's where he's batting.
Good.
So,
That's interesting. I don't think I knew that.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, he like I said, not a lot of power. I mean, he only has 6 doubles. I mean, think about that. No homers and only 6 doubles. But he's still hitting 311 and with a 422 OBP, so he's on base a lot for the boppers. Lower.
They also moved Peraza up too, which is
Oh, does Peraza tick you off as much as it ticks me off or not? Or do you don't even care about it?
tick me off.
Well, yeah, because you don't have him anymore because he did the same thing at the beginning of the year that he did the last couple of years where it looked like he couldn't get it, and then as soon as 66-44 picked him up,
no.
he goes off.
I don't blame the player. I blame me. I'm the one that made the decision to drop him.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, does it upset you that as soon as you dropped him, he went off? That's what I'm saying.
No, it upsets me as soon as I drop him that somebody else picks him up right away. When you offer him in trades and I don't like him and I don't want him, and then the guy goes and picks him up.
Yeah, but
that-
you could get him for free. That's what
Correct.
you gotta understand.
I understand it.
Yeah.
Well, it's not for free. You're still going to drop someone, but
Okay, now we got Miguel Cabrera. He had some sort of weird biceps injury yesterday, and I
Correct.
think basically it all boils down to if he can stay healthy. That's all what it is. You know, I mean, dude's always gonna hit. I mean, he's one of the best right-hand hitters of all time, I think. But just depends on if he can stay on the field. And I think he kind of falls into the same Moustakas category where these teams are bad, and they're gonna get pitched to. What are you looking at?
yeah, they are. I mean, I think there's other guys in the lineup that are the reason that they're pitching to Cabrera is because there's other guys in the lineup that are.
Well, Castellanos. I mean, and Candelario bats second, but see that has nothing to do with Cabrera getting pitched to, yes or no.
Right,
I mean,
right.
so I think his bench is very shallow. That is one of the. I mean, look at this. He's got 3 guys. That's it. I mean, he's got Villar, Swanson, and Cervelli, and he's got 2 guys who. I mean, like he literally does not have a backup first baseman. Well, I guess you could say Cabrera is in the util slot, so you could swap that around. But
He does have position, well, and you miss Castro.
is Castro? Is he actually in the lineup somewhere? Oh, he's in the other util slot. I gotcha. And yeah, I mean Castro. He's hitting 292, only 4 doubles. See, that's awful. How's he only have 4 doubles all season long with all those at bats?
They're not good offensively.
I know, but come on. You got to do better than 4 doubles with all those at bats. But he still gets hits. He puts bat on ball, so I mean he should be okay. So I guess I don't like the depth of the offense. So I think that is definitely in question.
All Rise is what he is. He's Yankee heavy.
Yeah.
The Yankees are good. He's good. When the Yankees are bad, other fantasy teams are going to pound on him
Right.
because he's too much reliant on Sanchez and
It
Judge.
would be interesting. I would say probably when the Yankees got off to a slow start, he was probably struggling at the beginning. Now he's had 2 out of 3 wins because the last 2 weeks the Yankees have won a lot of games.
Well,
So I mean, yeah.
makes sense. Pitching staff?
Pitching staff: Gio Gonzalez. I don't like him at all. How about you?
Yes, he's won the last 2 weeks. However, we'll get into this. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Good. Gio is coming back to Gio. The whip is what it should be. He had a great year last year, but
it's really hard to like Gosman because the Orioles are so bad, right? I mean,
never like Gosman. He's
Yeah.
overrated.
Yeah.
I encourage people to pick him up and throw him, please.
Yeah. Herrera literally hasn't even given up a run yet, but the saves are sort of few and far between because
Correct.
they're not winning. But that'll change. So I think Herrera's numbers will be on the upswing because no matter what, Kansas City will still win 60 games this year and he'll get a lot of save opportunities. You know what I mean? Soria, that's a weird thing there.
White Sox aren't good.
Yeah, and sometimes is Soria getting all that? Nate Jones isn't getting any of it.
I think it's kind of a platoon.
Yeah, I know. Now, I like Middleton, however, he has had a couple of rough outings now.
As we said.
You did call that. I will give you credit. You act like I never give you any credit. You said, well, is that always going to sting us? As long as he's good, it will, but now he's had 2 in a row where he hasn't looked good. He's walking guys. And trust me, you've never seen a look in the dugout until the camera pans to Socha after a leadoff walk in the 9th from the closer, because he looks like he wants to punch him in the face.
Right.
So,
If the Angels stay good, I know you talked about them getting a bat. I think closer is like a Kelvin Herrera or something like that would easily be a guy that the Angels would go after to lock down.
No, yeah, I agree with that. Wow. I don't understand why he even owns Ryan Madsen at this point. Look at that. 6.75 ERA.
He's had a couple rough outings.
Yeah. And he only has 2 holds.
Yeah. There's not
2
a
holds,
lot-
2 saves. I mean,
Well, but that's why.
I guess.
You
But
get
I mean,
saves and holds.
boy, the Nats are all over the place, aren't they? That's a
Yeah.
weird team to figure out.
As someone said in the text thread, their offense is not good. They had some injuries too.
Yeah. But even so, I mean, we even talked about Gio. Their pitching hasn't been fantastic either. Other than, Serger, but I mean,
Strasburg.
Strasburg. But
He's
after
had
that,
a couple rough ones, but
Right.
yeah.
Archie Bradley still has great stats. But see, he still falls into because he only has 2 saves, so he's still playing that 7th, 8th inning role, And Boxberger is the
still
closer. So, but I mean, again, he's got a 1.42 ERA and a 0.87 WHIP. I mean, he is, the new Adam Miller, right?
Andrew.
I'm sorry, new Andrew Miller. Yes. Michael Fulmer.
Yeah.
It's hard because Detroit's so bad to love anybody on that team, pitching wise.
Still has good stats.
Now here's a guy, Ryu. Okay,
Been on fire.
he has been on fire, but I think this is his MO. He's always good while healthy, and then something happens that he gets hurt, and then it all goes down.
Well, I think you could say that for almost anybody. You're
Well,
good when you're healthy, and you're not. when
Yeah,
you're
but I mean,
hurt.
he has you know what I'm saying. He has a track record of being on the DL and having injuries.
Correct.
So I think
So enjoy it while it lasts.
exactly. I would say Tanaka has had some very fortunate numbers. You don't see a WHIP that low at 114 and an ERA that high at 497.
No, he's not walking anybody because they're all hitting home runs.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
That's what I said.
but I think, 29 innings and 29 Ks. He's not. I mean, it's not that that's a bad strikeout rate, but
It's
it's
average.
not. It's not great.
Right.
And I think in order to be great at Yankee Stadium, you need to do a little bit better than that. Unless you're like CC, where you're just so weird that people can't hit you because you're
Right.
throwing 80 miles an hour and they can't get. That's different. But I would say Keuchel's would have been disappointing so far. He's not pitching to ace numbers. 390 ERA and a 1.30 WHIP. That's not ace.
No.
And
He's been very sporadic.
yeah. And I think the biggest red flag there, 30 innings, 24 strikeouts. He's not getting that strikeout.
No.
They are laying off the changeup is what's happening.
Yes. Well, and the fastball isn't obviously as hard as it was. And it's
think
still-
about that. He's 1-3, and that Astro team's really good.
Yes, they are.
So
No World
So
Series letdown.
no, not for because there were certain players. Well, I don't know. Do you think Altuve's had a?
No, I don't think he's been great.
He's been
Bregman
great,
hasn't
but-
been, but
well, yeah.
but again, they play the team game, so
Right, that's true. That's true. I think this guy's overachieved to a certain extent, even though his numbers doesn't read that. But I feel like he's done better than that as Teheran for Atlanta.
Actually, no. We talked about him in the offseason. He either has a really, really good start or he just gets lit up.
Right.
So if he
I guess
has
that's why
more-
his numbers are better. Because I feel like he's pitched better than a 407 and a 144 whip.
He
but-
will have 2 starts where he'll pitch 6 innings, give up 1 or 2 runs, and then that third start he'll pitch 5 innings and give up 6 runs. And that's how it was last year too. He was one of the guys why I didn't like quality starts because his totals looked awful, but quality starts wise, he's like top in the league because
Right.
he does have good starts. Just when he has that bad start, he gets lit up.
And then Newcomb, not great.
Another former Bear Bashers prospect
Yeah, but I wasn't as big on him. I didn't have issues
because he's not good.
He walks too many guys. That's the bottom line.
So you're not sad that you don't have him anymore.
Well, no, there's a difference between. Well, although his strikeouts are very high,
He always will have strikeouts. It's just he'll have as many walks as strikeouts.
but yeah, the 4.23 ERA and that 1.48 WHIP will kill you. You can't have a WHIP that high. So yeah, I'm not big on Newcomb. Even though I like the Braves, I don't like Newcomb, and that's why. He's only 1-1, but I think it's because the Braves score a lot of runs. So
Yep.
he does have Felix now. Felix is a tough guy to figure out because I feel like sometimes he looks like he's back to his old self, and then the next time he can't get out of the second inning. So I don't know. He's all over. I think you're going to get flashes, but man, that 5.93 ERA.
You got to know what to expect from him. You're only going to get 5 or 6 innings. You're hoping that he's only going to give up 1 or 2 runs,
Right.
maybe get 4 or 5 strikeouts. If he's not considered one of your aces, I think he's okay to have. He's serviceable, but I think he's a matchup pitcher.
Now this next guy is interesting because I feel like he will not. I think Texas will unload. There's no reason for them to keep
I
these
wouldn't
guys.
even have him on my roster.
Well, no,
He
I
should be
get
a
it.
free agent.
Okay, I don't know if he's that bad. 4.34 ERA and a 1.34 WHIP is lower level, But and 29 innings and 32 strikeouts, he's still averaging more than a strikeout an inning. But what I'm saying, the reason why I said he was interesting is because I think Texas will trade him,
Yeah.
so he's going to go somewhere else.
But if he doesn't put up better numbers, is anybody really going to want him?
Everybody wants a left-handed pitcher. Everybody.
Perhaps.
It doesn't matter who it is. So
Your
my,
assessment.
my assessment is
I
that
would like to throw in one more
Go ahead.
fact, because someone on the text thread likes to give us bad data, skewed data. I'm sorry. Let me clarify. Someone in the text thread loves to give skewed data, and the skewed data that was given today was he's lost to the top 2 teams, or his only 2 losses, referring to All Rise.
yeah.
Correct. His 2 wins are against 66, 44, and 5 Swords. Teams 8 and 10.
So
So-
he was backwards on that because actually he lost to the 2 good teams though. That's what he's saying.
No, he's saying that we're discrediting All Rise because his only 2 losses on the season are to Globo Gym and Team Joe Bill.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so we'll give him credit for that.
Then his wins were.
But why am I
against-
patting him on the back for beating teams 8 and 10?
Right. I got you.
That's all I'm saying. Hasn't beaten anybody.
Right. No, that makes sense.
That's
I
all I'm
got it.
saying.
I got it.
So, anyways, go ahead. Your final assessment.
My assessment is that I don't like this pitching staff at all. I think the offense can sustain because I think the Yankees are still going to be good. I don't think the Yankees are going to go away.
Right.
I think he'll be okay offensively. I think he can continue to be very good offensively, even on the upper end. But the pitching staff's just not good enough. Now you can change this as the season progresses.
Right.
But
I don't know. As I've had this conversation with Globo Gym, I feel like free agency this year is kind of backwards. I feel like there's a ton of hitters out there, and there's no pitching.
I agree.
There is no pitching. Now, I don't know whether that's just because everybody's keeping fringe guys that are good now.
That's what's happening.
Or is it that the pitching is so bad right now that nobody's even worth...
Well, we even discussed offense technically is sort of down.
Yes.
I think it is that people are very nervous about dropping their pitchers, and you know why? I think it revolves around one category. I think it's total bases because they don't need to go out there and pick up, Joe Schmo off the free agent list because
Right.
they don't want to lose total bases.
Correct. And I think that's why as you are now starting to notice, even though I've noticed this for 2 or 3 weeks, the strikeouts totals are declining as well.
Yeah, because they're not starting as many pitchers.
Correct.
That's all. That's all that
Correct.
is.
So again, that's a question going back to total bases, not to jump onto that.
No,
Is
you can.
that good or bad for the league? I think that's yet to be determined. I think what it is doing, though, is it's causing more people to make more analytical decisions.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I still don't like it. I think because I don't like the idea that we have so many guys not throwing. Like they're not pitching their pitchers, and I think that's counterproductive for what we're trying
Well,
to do.
but again, it can backfire. I didn't throw Quintana on Saturday.
I mean, like for instance, I played Ben's Champions, and he literally benched 5 starting pitchers against me. That seems like it shouldn't happen. Like, I'd say
I don't know. I think that happens at every matchup. If you're winning pitching stats, you're not going to play. I think what
Well,
you're
he
what
didn't
you're
win the pitching
correct.
stats.
What I'm saying,
That's what I'm
what I
saying.
think you're noticing is that guys that aren't winning pitching stats, I think, and we don't have the data yet. We're working on it. I think churning is down on weekends. Is what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna say.
definitely.
I think churning on weekends is down.
Saturday into Sunday.
I think churning Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is up.
But I don't know if this happens to you, but there will be times where I'll look at my team and I'll be like, man, I could really use another starting pitching tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I get on and I see the 8 probables and I'm like, I cannot pitch any of those guys.
Yep.
So I can't do it. Does that happen to you?
Yes, I actually don't even look at the probables for tomorrow. I have to go 2 and 3 days in advance. That's the only reason I have J.A. Happ. So.
Yeah, that's a good pickup out of you. I think
But that's because I had to go look at 2 days in advance.
I was roster locked at that time. I saw that drop and I was like, man, how do I get him? But I can't get him today. I got to wait until tomorrow and he's gone.
So we got off course here. Your final analysis.
Final analysis on All Rise. I believe he will drop back a little bit, but as it is, I say he's a playoff team.
You think he's a power 6? You
I
think
think
he
he
makes
is.
the 6?
I think he is because unless he has injuries, because he's not deep. I think that's another drawback on him. If he gets injuries, it takes him away from him. But I can't assume injuries.
So who?
So, no, we're not going to do that. We're not playing that game. We're not taking people away.
Okay.
I'm saying right now, I
you
say
think
he is a playoff.
So then you are down on yourself then, saying you're not going to make the playoffs.
That's not what I said.
Ah!
I think he can sneak into the playoffs as long as everybody stays healthy, and that's what he's going to need because he's not deep. I mean,
I want to say that, man, that's tough because I'm not going to be a.
well, see, you're looking too much into it. It's
Well, I
the kind
have
of thing
to.
like when you do projections, like
Okay, so then should I just look at it for what it is? Anybody that's been better than him, he's lost to, and anybody that is worse than him, he's beaten. So to me, that's a 500 team, and he's going to be down in 5th or 6th. There you go. There's my analysis.
well, that's basically what I just said. I think he's going to be a 5
No,
or 6.
he's-
Yeah, 'cause
he's
he's going to make the playoffs. If you're 5 or 6, do you make the playoffs? And the answer is yes.
No, you said he was going to be in the power 6. You didn't say he was going to drop down to 5 or 6.
No, that's what I meant. Like right now, standings wise, he's in 3rd. I would say that he's going to be lower than that, standings wise, by the end.
But still in the 6.
But I could see him in the 6 right now. I mean, but again, this is all barring injury. If Aaron Judge goes down tomorrow, I think it changes his whole freaking.
Well,
You know, I know, but I'm just saying he's not deep enough to recover from that. I feel like there's other teams that have more depth on their bench who could withstand something like that, or they're better all around. Like for you, like if Didi went down, like Didi's probably been your most productive offensive player. Well, no, I guess Trout is, but I mean, other than Trout, it would be Didi, right?
Sure.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If Didi went down tomorrow, he's out for the year.
If he's out for the year,
Yeah,
we regroup.
regroup. But I think you still have Trout and Altuve. You've got other guys who
Well,
can
yes,
carry
I'm deep.
you. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying like he is not. So I don't think he could afford something like that.
Okay.
All right. So
That was a long segment.
it was gonna be a long video. We gotta have a quick power rankings. Okay.
It was a very long segment.
So it's been a very long. It's gonna be a very long video in general. So we're gonna try to get moving. We're gonna try to make it a fast power rankings. Who is your number 6? Go. 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 Nobody on it. Team V and number 6. Anything to say about that? Nothing. No. Okay.
Apparently, I talk about myself too much, so.
Did someone tell you that? I didn't. I never even said that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna divulge? Okay. All right. My number 6, making his first appearance in the power rankings, is All Rise. Not gonna say anything about that either.
He's my number 5.
Okay. There we go. Number 5 for him is All Rise. We'll see if it's sustainable. We talked enough about All Rise. Who is your?
How about your number 5?
My number 5 is Team Jobu. I know that he did, have a decent roto week according to you, but I still have him at number 5. Number 4, Alaska Glaciers.
Although struggling.
Yes. Yes.
So the problem is with the Power 6, I know we're trying to make this quick, is that the bottom 4 are so bad that even when the top 6 are struggling, they're still better than the bottom 4.
Okay, if you want to say that, I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
Because he's in the bottom 4.
Yeah, but I'm certainly, well, I still beat you, so I don't know what that means. Anyway, Team V, number 4.
And that means you're ahead of me in the standings, right? You're ahead of me in the standings?
No,
'Cause
behind
beat
you
me.
by 2 games?
Wait, you're where?
Yeah.
Behind me, but you beat me.
Alright.
But you beat me.
All right, so
My
Team
number
V is
3.
Team 4. Number 3 is Ben's Champions. My number 3 is Alaska Glaciers. I've actually dropped him down from 2 to 3.
Wow, like a
Because
brick
he
in
is-
water.
Yep, that was dropping down a little bit. Your number 2 is Team Jobu. That's insanely high. But go ahead.
I have you at number 2. As I said, still number 4 Roto stats for the week. So I mean, you play the number 1 team and you're number 4.
Next week we will for sure positive get the team stats down with your what do you call it? The iPad.
iPad? No, I don't have an iPad.
Well, when
F
he has
Apple.
that,
F
we'll have
Apple.
the team stats. All right.
Roto stats.
My number 2 is Ben's Champions. Despite his lack of pitching, his offense is
He has the
pretty
best, but again, we talk about him having the best offense.
Mhm.
He was only number 4 this week.
legit. Yeah, I know.
So when his offense isn't number 1 or number 2, because his pitching is always bad,
Mhm.
although surprisingly number 5 roto-wise this week. Number 5 pitching staff. His pitching staff is better than yours.
Yeah, that week, yeah. I said it. Didn't have a great pitching week. These things happen every now and then.
And you just traded away one of your better pitchers.
Well, I didn't just trade him away. I think it's been a week and a half now, but yeah.
So,
All right.
So the proof is in the pudding.
All right. So I guess our number 1s are mirror images of each other, Globo Jim. I still question. Maybe he should be the guy that we look into next week because his pitching staff seems to be doing very, very well. I want to know if that's sustainable. I'd like to look into that. What do you think? Can we do that next
Number
week?
2 pitching staff for the week in Roto.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That was cumulative. Cumulative stats over here. Cumulative. His pitching for the week was number 1.
I don't know why we're laughing about that. That's what I said. I want to see if it's sustainable.
I think the interesting thing for him is that he was 7th in offense.
Yeah, I know.
His offense is.
Well, I think he would be the guy.
Is that your next victim for
Yeah.
the team by team breakdown?
I think he would be the guy that we should look into next week. That is correct. So there you go. There's your teaser. We will end this now because, like I said, this is a very long video.
Special shout out,
Special shout
Team
out.
Joe Boo,
I don't know what's happening
with
right
the Excel book document that you sent me. Big ups for that. I know it took you 10 seconds. Saves me a lot more time. Appreciate it. Also makes my work accurate. Sponsored by BAE as well. Thank you.
now. Sponsorships now. All right. See you next week.